I am super excited for this one. But before I even touch on the challenge, I want to mention the plant. So this is obviously a new plant for the room, and I wanted to kind of give just a little bit more life to the studio. And so this plant is named Matt in honor of a family member who recently passed away. And so wanted to do something small to just kind of remember him and honor him in a very small way. But yeah, anyway, the challenge, this is awesome. This is so cool. I love hot sauce. I love the show Hot Ones. And I'm actually vegetarian, so I will probably be making my own vegan drumsticks for this. Because I also love cooking, and so anytime I can cook for the channel, I will. So yeah, I think this will be a pretty easy one. I think you can buy the entire set of sauces online, so I'll check that, but I'm pretty sure you can just buy a full case of like the 10 different sauces that they use on the show. So hopefully I can just order that, cook up some wings, and then do this. Obviously, part of Hot Ones is the questions, and I don't have anyone to ask questions. But I think AI would be perfect for this. So what I'll do is just have AI give me 10 questions while I eat the wings. I'll just sit here and, I won't load up the questions beforehand or anything. I'll just have it go live, and then I'll eat a wing and answer whatever AI asks me. So yeah, all right. Cost-wise, probably going to be a little expensive. I do think the cases of the 10 sauces are pretty expensive. Although, like I said, I love hot sauces, so I will absolutely be eating the whole bottles of all of these, I'm sure. So, absolutely worth it. I probably would be buying a bunch of hot sauce anyway, so cost isn't too bad. Maybe a medium, but really not that bad. Complexity, again, not too bad. I just have to order the sauces and then cook the wings, which, it should be a pretty simple recipe. I've made, vegan versions of all sorts of things, so I'll probably do like a seitan recipe and make my own. And fun, this is high up there. This is probably going to be one of my favorite challenges I think I ever do. I've kind of always wanted to actually do this, so this is awesome. I think this will be a lot more fun than the jumping jacks wars. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I guess I'll see you whenever I get the sauces in and jump right into it. I will link the full recipe in the description, but here's a quick overview. So gather all of these ingredients, mix as shown, then dip the rice paper in the liquid and scoop some of the mixture in the middle. You can use the lemongrass stalks kind of as a bone, or just wrap the insides by itself. Then you're just gonna go ahead and bake or fry them. I actually did both, and they came out really good. The hot sauces are here. I have not even opened the box yet, but the wings are cooked. I am ready to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and break out the sauces here first. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go grab the wings, grab everything else, and we will start saucing. All right, I did look online, and it seemed like the general consensus was to use about a teaspoon of the sauce per wing, so that's what I'll do. Full honesty, I have had the Last Dab sauce before. I've also had Da Bomb Beyond Insanity, and actually Matt, the human though, not the plant, bought me a bottle for Christmas. But when I've eaten those sauces, I do not put anywhere near the amount that I just put on these wings. So that's going to be a massive challenge, I think. Also, these are really big wings, and I think just eating this much food is actually probably gonna be quite a bit of a challenge as well. I don't have a drink. I'm hoping to get through this without drinking anything, but that's very optimistic. So I'm gonna go actually grab some kefir that I have in the fridge. I think I'm ready to start. This first one is Senor Lechuga Hot Sauce, 006. And I'm gonna go ahead and ask AI for my first question. Oh, I guess I should eat. I'm supposed to eat first, aren't I? Okay, let me eat first. That was really good. Lemon garlic habanero. Tastes really good. The vegan drumsticks are fantastic too. They are very big though. This is gonna be so much food for me. Oh my gosh. Okay, first question. Weirdly enough, I think actually the one that comes to mind is a bird that we get here in the States, that I've actually seen in the States quite a bit. But I was birding in Botswana, and I came across this bird and I didn't actually recognize it because it was not in the field guides. Even the guide I was with didn't recognize it, and I really didn't even consider that it could be what it actually was. Come to find out, it was a pectoral sandpiper, which I think this was only the second ever record of them in Botswana. So they were extremely rare for that area. So that was probably the rarest I've found. The second for an entire country is a pretty big deal. Although, again, it was a bird I see, literally at the lake next to my house. So I just happened to find one in Africa as well. Okay, first one down. So what I did for the questions is I told it to ask me questions kind of in the style of Hot Ones, and then it can use information that it knows about me. Second one is Karma Sauce Lift Off Green Thai Vibes. Oh. So that one actually went extremely smoothly. As amazing as that is, I almost had no issues with it because I started prepping 2 days beforehand. I have learned my lesson with other dinners that did not go so well. So I'd say with other ones, I think when I think in middle school maybe, I was kind of, I've kind of cooked my whole life, but in middle school I was making kind of a big dinner similar to what it mentioned. And it was my first time using some stuff, including garlic. And so it said like 2 cloves of garlic. I thought the entire head was a clove, and so I used 2 heads of garlic. And it was completely inedible. I love garlic, and I usually like double or triple what a recipe will say. This was way too much garlic. So that was probably the worst. I've gotten good at managing chaotic dinners though, and planning ahead, prepping literally as much as possible so that nothing does go wrong, and that's usually worked out pretty well. So, all right, cool question. So, number 2 is done. Number 3, we've got the Hot Ones Pickled Garlic Sriracha. This is the Hot Ones brand itself. So let me queue up the next. Yeah, this is gonna be so much food. These are huge. It smells like sriracha. Okay. Well, considering I've only done one challenge before this and it was a jumping jacks, I'm gonna have to say that. Yeah, I don't really have many choices for this one. I've only done one video so far. Okay. Number 4. All right, this one. Here we go. Okay, this one's really good. I'm gonna add some more because this is actually a really good sauce. Definitely get a lot of kind of the lime and those Mexican spices. It's good. Definitely a little bit of heat. I'm starting to feel, adding more, I think obviously contributed to that, but that was really good. So, okay, question. So probably with NASCAR, you obviously miss a lot of good photo opportunities. And so there was one race I was photographing where Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle was racing as an ARCA race. He wrecked and his car caught on fire, kind of near me, but I didn't see it happen live. I was kind of focusing on other cars as they came by, but I didn't get any pictures of the wreck as it happened. I did get some after the car on fire, but I think it would have been really cool to get actually an action shot of a wreck happening. Really I haven't gotten any full on of a wreck happening, but I think that would have been a cool one to get just because it's who it is. I love that show growing up. So, all right, we are on to the next one. Number 5, Los Calientes. Yeah, it smells good. It smells really good. I have no idea where it cut off, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and repeat because I was I was giving my answer to the 5th question. So, question 5. I'm assuming they mean like a drug or something. I would consider myself a hippie, but I don't use drugs, so I don't really have an answer in that way. The most unexpected hippie thing I've done, maybe would be like, at least out of place, would probably be at one of those NASCAR events. So obviously I do, as a photographer, you're gonna have dress codes to be, especially in like the pit lanes and areas where, there's actual security issues. So I obviously wear the correct attire, but I have worn like rainbow headbands and stuff to NASCAR events, which, I'm probably one of the few that has ever done that. But I guess maybe that's my hippie side in an unexpected setting, I guess. So, all right, on to number 6. So. Oh, this one's kind of falling apart. I think they're getting a little bit saturated in the sauces and kind of starting to deteriorate. So actually, I found a roommate through Reddit once. So in fact, he lived in this very room. So I guess, I don't know, that's probably the most memorable, at least. Hot House hot sauce. All right. A little long stick. I'm really getting the dill. So there's definitely dill in here. And that's coming through heavy. That's good, I like dill. Wow. That's an unbelievable question because I obviously didn't plan any of this, but very, very, very clearly the answer is Matt the plant. Just because obviously what it means and what it represents. So Matt was a great guy. So here's the one I was most worried about. Da Bomb, obviously, this is the one that everybody always says. Although, the ones I've always seen were Da Bomb Beyond Insanity. This is Da Bomb Evolution. So I don't know if that means it's better or worse. Definitely feeling heat. I mean, it's lingering for sure now. One thing I'm really worried about actually with these last three is I don't want to get hiccups, because I've had hiccups, and so hot food can give me hiccups. That is absolutely miserable. So I'm really hoping I don't get hiccups from any of these. Oh boy. Here we go. Da Bomb. Okay, let's definitely ramp up. Oh, that is way too metaphysical to be asking me right now. What? If my life were a simulation? Repeating pattern. I really don't know, actually. The only thing I can think of, it's not really like a repeating pattern or anything that I've noticed where I think it's like a simulation or anything, but I do have a couple kind of weird quirks that I think are more just kind of OCD. And so one of those is, oh no, I just had a hiccup. Oh no. That was what I didn't want. Oh no. No! Oh God. I hate hiccups. So I have a couple OCD kind of tendencies, just with really weird things. And so the main one is with microwaves. Whenever I put anything in the microwave, it always ends in 9. So if something says 30 seconds, I put it in for 29 seconds. I mean, you have to type in a number no matter what, so I'm just gonna type one that ends in 9. I don't think it's any weirder. It's less, it's no more arbitrary than always ending in 0, right? Here we go, Sicilian scorpion hot sauce. I will say, I don't think those two things are contradictory. The ultra chill Outwatch philosophy, whatever, that's sort of more of an outlook on life. Whereas kind of by organizing, keeping spreadsheets and documenting things and whatnot, I think that's a lot more my approach. That helps keep me insane, it helps keep me grounded, all that. So I don't think they're all necessarily related, although I think the chill aspect just comes with how I approach life. But I think being organized can be part of being chill. I don't think those are all contradictory. Okay, this was pretty hot too. This is a lot of wings. The last dab experience.
And as they say, you don't have to if you don't want to. But I will. Put a little extra on the last wing. I don't know how anybody goes on that show and maintains composure, or I feel like I am like a sniveling, spitting, drooling shell right now. Like I'm good, I'm okay, I'm capable of it, but like, that's just my body reacting. I have no control over how my body reacts. I don't know how people can get on there and just not have this kind of physical reaction to these wings. Okay, last question. Non-human guest. Okay, I think I'm gonna invite Towley from South Park. You would just be chill. That is it. I'm done. I think I have officially run the gauntlet, as they say. This camera, this camera, this camera. What have I got going on in my life? I've got prompted, and you're already here, so that works out. Thank you so much.